Dragon Wings is an improvised story. If you're a new listener, make sure to go back to episode 1.
Dragon Wing!
One of the orcs from across the room, since he saw Le Chat grip your arm in such a friendly way, he hasn't stopped looking at you.
At me specifically?
At you specifically, and he doesn't look happy.
Okay.
Just so you know. No one else knows that or notices that.
Okay.
Is he one of the orcs guarding the end of the cavern, or is he just a random orc that's having a chow down?
Yeah, so the end of the cavern's about 100 feet away. It's quite a long cavern, though off to one of the sides you just see him, arms folded. He's leaning against the wall. He looks rather big, brutish, and he's just staring you down.
This is what happens, Oscar, when you flirt with another orc.
Another orc?
Hey
man, we don't know this is happening.
No, it's just a little breakdown.
Le Chat adds, by the way, Prosco, be careful there. It is not a very nice place. It is a place of thieves run by thieves.
I'll fit right in. Did Ven leave anything else with you at all?
He shrugs and he says, not to my knowledge. But this is all academic anyway. We shall have to stay down here for some time, perhaps weeks.
Snugug, why, Oscar turns to him, sort of keeping a half eye on this half orc that is giving him the stink eye from across the room.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you only orcs? Why have you come to live here in the sewers? Why do you not live up in the town?
We were driven from there, and the town at this point, thanks to your intervention, is no place for anybody to be.
Wasn't the guy that we rescued in the stocks a half orc?
Yes.
Yes, he was.
He was.
And then we left him in a safe house up.
You did leave him there, yeah.
Do we know his name?
Don't know.
The one that was blind and stupid.
Yeah, it'd been
otherwise stupefied. Yeah.
He was addled.
Yeah.
Extremely addled.
I turn to
Some madness.
Snugug and I say, by the way, we rescued one of your he might have been a member of the Clucking Orcs. He was a half orc trapped in the stocks up on top. Up on top?
He claps you on the shoulder and he says, we lost many men to Bartimus. Where is he?
He's in the safe house.
The what?
There was a safe house harboring some villagers hiding from the
From Bartimus.
From Bartimus. We left him there. He was being tended to.
Excellent. And where is this safe house? It sounds incredibly safe.
It's just around the corner from the pub that we went to, the tavern.
Up above?
Yeah, up above.
He looks away and he says, then he is dead.
Oh.
Cool.
Did those people... Surely not. We left him in the care of those that were supportive.
He clarifies, well, he is as good as dead. If he is not here up above, is war.
Well, I turn to our crew and I say, look, I know that fighting hasn't been our strongest point in this adventure thus far, but I can't bear to see a group of individuals be torn apart by a big boy shit monster. And I want to do everything within my means to try and help them. And if that's destroy a shit by flushing it somewhere, then we do that.
One of them is giving me the stink eye. Don't look, there's a big half orc over there, and he keeps on glaring at me, and I don't know why. Do I recognise the half orc?
You do not.
You do not.
Just go and speak to him and ask him what's wrong.
Don't think speaking to him is necessarily a good idea.
Give him a chicken wing.
We are stuck down here. If you go, that is a horrible idea.
I'm thinking confrontation with these people is probably not the best.
I could do with a rest.
The door.
Me too.
PS, we can just get out of it by the looks of things I checked when we came in. So if we need to make a rapid escape, we should probably stay at this end of the room.
I would agree with that.
Can we have a long rest, like heal up and then go and hunt this poo monster?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too bad from a rest perspective, but I think probably you guys need one, and I think Pluckers does as well.
Yeah.
I need to sit down.
We also need
Pluckers. Weird.
Yeah, odd.
We also need to know where we need to find the bloody diary as well.
Yeah.
That's more pressing, perhaps.
Do they have the diary? Did you notice the species of the people?
They were invisible.
Ah.
I don't think they were half.
I think they came back. They weren't half orcs. I think they weren't half orcs.
They look
basically.
Okay.
They didn't. Yeah.
Does Snugug know anything about the Chicken Wing Consortium?
Does Snugug know anything about the chicken? Snugug, have you heard of the Chicken Consortium?
Who has not heard of the Chicken Consortium? That is fine chicken that they produce.
We had a run-in with 2 of their operatives, and we came out of that run-in pretty badly.
What did they give you, a sharing bucket?
It wasn't about so much what they gave us as what they took. But do you know where they might be based?
The local office. The district office of the Chicken Wing Corporation.
He says, I am afraid not, mes amis.
And Ven definitely didn't leave anything else for you, or you couldn't point us in the direction somewhere where he might have stored something safely.
He says, that is all I know, I am sorry. But at that, he gestures to a couple of cots and he says, but please, you look weary, as did your chicken. Please, you may rest.
And does he look kind of truthful here? Can I do a perception check again?
You can do an insight check, yeah.
Insight check. 21.
Yeah, you think he's being truthful.
Fair enough.
You think he means you well.
Nothing. While we have a little nap, do you want to just stand over Pluckers and make sure that
Yeah.
Stand vigil.
none of these half orcs eat her?
Someone can top up my hit points when you wake up. That's absolutely fine.
And you can take it in shifts, you know.
Okay.
So still get the benefit of the rest.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, no, I'll take first watch. So just sit down next to Pluckers. So you know Pluckers has passed out now, right?
Yeah.
There's any, like, she's not, like, injured in a way that we've missed or anything.
Apart from her ruined wings, she doesn't seem to have any cuts or...
Would a magic one feeding her own chicken wing, is that just dark and fucked up? But would it heal her?
Harry just immediately scowled at the concept.
It certainly feels wrong. It certainly feels wrong.
I think that's how we got into the mad cow disease situation.
Yeah.
But
But
if she does, also she's passed out now, right? So kind of making her eat something is kind of impossible.
Put on a drip. Put in a drip.
Can we rub a bit of the rub in her mouth? Can we put a bit of rub in the mouth?
Sure.
It's all the magic comes from the rub, right? Not from the wings.
And
Well, no, she has magical wings, and we combine that magic with the magic of the rub.
True.
we set up a drip. Put the chicken wing in the drip, and then that's how medicine works, right?
Yes, yeah. Just talking out of character briefly here. Very easy to construct a drip for a large pig-sized chicken
In a cave.
in a cave full of
orcs.
orcs.
Yeah.
And a shit monster. It's unusual for me to take a moral stand on something, but I feel really fucking bad feeding a chicken its own wings.
That'd be all right.
Just an idea, you know. But
I mean, you eat your own. You chew your own nails, and you
You eat your own arm.
Oh, you know,
And you eat them for
eat a little
sustenance.
bit. Like if you have a little hangnail, eat a little bit of your own skin.
Let her have a rest. She might perk up. She's kind of sentient. If we offer her the wing, if she eats it,
If you bow to her
that's
again.
fine.
Can you imagine how offensive it would be? Here's your own hand. Do you want to eat that?
Just want to try it.
Yeah.
Give it a go.
I mean, I guess if I was dying though, and it would help, I would eat my own hand.
I can tell
Just
we're all
saying.
tired because this is a mad conversation.
Yeah.
Jacob is asleep. Just
True gladiator.
Yeah.
Can rest wherever he wants.
he's face down on one of these cots, snoring quietly, dribbling ever so slightly.
So you bunk down?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit at the base of the bunk, sit next to the chicken, just
Okay.
kind of keep an eye out. But
Fine.
I'm gonna chill.
For the whole
I'm resting.
duration? Or are you, because you need to be resting?
Yeah. Someone can take over from me in a bit. I'll
Cool.
Yeah, tap Jacob if you
Yeah.
Gonna rotate it. I mean, that's fine. And
Yeah.
you do that. And actually you rest for the full duration of the 8 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Takes you to very, very early the next morning. You know, in the very wee hours of the
Yeah.
morning. Twilight hours. But to no incident or effect. Oscarin, you wake up, you stretch, yawn, look across. The orc is in the same place, just staring at you.
Unmoving.
After 8 hours.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Against
Commitment.
Against Oscaren's better judgment.
Or who knows if he moved away, but he's certainly there now.
Just doing the same thing.
Yep.
Oscaren's going to walk over to him with all the...
Are you guys asleep still at this?
No, nothing is
Right,
going
right.
As I see you move, nothing is very keen on avoiding this confrontation. So I grab you with my tail and I say, are you just fucking sure? Because this could be a really, really bad idea.
I just want to know. I want to know what his deal is. I bear this guy no ill will. Why is he staring at me?
Why does it fucking matter why he's staring at you as long as he's not fucking trying to kill
Because
you?
we're stuck in a sewer with him.
As you begin to walk, he begins to walk
Fuck's sake, you've fucked it now, haven't you?
towards each other.
Jacob stands up, hand on hammer.
Little
Just a haft. Just a haft. Yeah.
It's never just the haft.
Nothing doesn't want to leave the side of the chicken, so she reluctantly, not even reluctantly, she doesn't want to go in a fight, but she steps back towards the chicken.
All right.
I am absolutely livid.
So just to picture this, so this one is going to about 30 feet away, but Jacob, are you going with him?
Yes.
Osgaren?
Cassius.
Cassius. I always get you two mixed up. Cassius?
Cassius stirs and just rises from his bed, but just sits there with nothing, and Pluckers just surveying the scene as he strokes his beard, just wanted to see what the young bard does. And
All right. So walking with him, staying.
You're staying.
Staying. Just to be really clear, so you're staying,
I'm staying.
nothing's staying, but Jacob, you're walking with him back up.
I'm a couple of feet behind him.
All right.
This is such a bad idea.
I walk over. Hail.
He keeps on walking and he barges past you, roughly.
Oh no.
In fact, do a quick contested strength check.
That'll go well. 14.
15.
Oh!
There it is. So you actually fall to your feet and he stays upright. And the half-orc says to you, "Idiot, you should be more careful, you know?"
Osgaren picks himself up and dusts off his leathers and says...
You landed on your bagpipes, by the way.
On my
Yeah.
I dust myself off. I say, and I can't help but you know when somebody says something, or you get this like a little somebody like flicks you,
Yeah.
and it's that really sharp little. It doesn't hurt a lot, but it's just the sharpness of the pain just makes you like snap a little bit.
Yeah.
Or when a half-orc walks into you.
Or when a half walks into you, and you're
Yeah.
like, so knowing that I've just fallen on my bagpipes, and I just sort of snap. Those are expensive. Those are worth more than your. And I catch myself.
He hocks and he spits on you.
Oh.
And he says, "Le chat may vouch for you, but I just see common folk waiting to die. Should I assist, peasant?"
I don't even know who you are.
My name is Darfu Henry.
Darfu Henry.
Darfu Henry. That's his
Darfu
name.
Henry.
I couldn't stop. Couldn't stop myself from giggling at that. His name is Darfu Henry.
Darfu,
Yeah, Darfu Henry.
have we met before?
We've met now.
And your issue is what exactly?
None of your business. Listen, why don't you go and fetch me some bread? I need something to go with my chicken.
Osgaren just takes a moment to think, oh, what on earth is he? Does he want to rise to this? And he says, he does nothing. He just stares. He stares at Darfu and just looks at him and just says, there's a reason we didn't let your lot into our pub in Cormier. And I would like him to take a wisdom save.
Okay. 12.
He takes... Where's a D4 when you need it? Thanks very much. He takes 4 points of psychic damage.
Okay. And what does that look like?
Just... What does a vicious mockery look like?
I mean, I assume that comes with like a bit of harsh words.
Yeah,
play.
well, I mean, me just being racist to his face.
That was the
That
vicious
was the
mockery.
vicious mockery.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Calling him out on his
Fine.
race. Yeah.
You see him shrink back, and you see a few bits of viscous blood, fluidy type stuff.
Stuff.
It's not quite.
It's
what is the word I'm
psychic
looking for?
damage.
You just see ichor,
yeah.
kind of ooze from his eyes and ears.
Yeah.
And he takes half a step back. And he said,
What did you do to me?
I would suggest you curb your tongue. I've done nothing to offend you, and you've been nothing but unpleasant.
Your presence offends me, and the rest is the orc gluson. Now leave, unless you think you're a tough little person.
I shall not.
Very good. And then he hits you.
He's got disadvantage on his next attack.
Nice.
Because of the failed wisdom saving
You
throw.
see his arm arc as he tries to swipe you. It's more of a slap across the face. It's not good. 7 versus AC.
Oscarin preternaturally sort of rocks back on his heels as this paw swings past his face. I bear you no ill will.
And as he swings past, he half trips and he stumbles to one knee. And you hear a couple of kind of orcs laughing nearby at him. And he quickly gets up and he dusts himself off. And then he kind of looks from side to side, sneering. He points at you and then he yells,
I challenge you to the wings of death.
and at that, the music stops. You hear half a dozen chairs scrape and turn, and there is silence in the cavern.
Except for the sound of Nothing's tail slapping her forehead.
The what now?
All eyes are on you. And he says, the wings of death. If you think you're tough enough of this bardic mimicry, if we are to fight, we fight as orcs.
The wings of death. Sorry.
Or perhaps you are chicken.
What are the wings of death exactly? Darfu.
Another half-orc rushes over to you as the orc stalks away, and he begins conferring with another equally brutish-looking orc. You see them clasp arms and begin to talk quietly. One of the other orcs explains to you that the Wings of Death is a kind of duel that they've been doing recently. You have to choose a companion to be your so-called partner in death. On your command, a cooked chicken wing is thrown into the air, and your partner has to skewer it with a throwing knife, thus getting it to land in your mouth. The two of you keep doing it until one of you either gives up or falls unconscious or dies. Which of those things happens first?
So you're throwing knives into each other's mouths until somebody dies.
You essentially have someone throwing a knife at you over and over, attempting to skewer a chicken wing between you and the knife.
And what if they do get the chicken wing as well?
Then it lands in your mouth.
Right.
So they're throwing the knife, trying to skewer a chicken wing so that it lands in your mouth. If they miss, well, depends how badly they miss.
And you just keep doing this.
Yep.
Until I just call across to Darfu. I say, "There's not enough of you to stand losing another of your number. This is foolishness."
Then he says, "Then you are a coward. So be it." And he begins to walk away from you.
Fine. I'm not rising. I'm not rising to it. I've got the better of him.
And
Everybody's seen me get the better of him.
And he walks over to another group, and then he looks around and calls out rather loudly to the cavern, "He is a coward. He has turned down the challenge." And you hear a couple of groans and ahs, but everyone returns to their business. You see Lashat, who's leaning against the opposite wall, and he looks at you. He begins to shake his head, but then he shrugs and nods.
Jacob puts a hand on Oscarin's shoulder and says, "That was the right.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Fine. I think we should go and kill the shit monster."
Yeah.
As you return to us, I'll say, "That was very mature of you, young scallywag. I was going to think you're going to do it."
No. Although I feel that I spoke in anger, and that was unbecoming.
Maybe you'll write a ballad of you being a coward, though, for the rest of your life.
Sorry if I'm getting off you there.
I see death has done nothing to dull your sense of humour, Cassius.
No, I'm just jesting. I'm very proud of you, son. And I just ruffle your hair.
It's much the braver thing to do not to rise to bullies who want to fight.
I mean, I wouldn't say that, but it probably was a good shout.
Pluckers, by the way, I take it she's still with you, nothing. Mm-hmm. You see her breathing stop.
What the fuck?
And you hear nothing scream that.
I'm choking the chicken.
Not breathing. Not moving.
Jacob! Chicken's not breathing!
I lay on hands, heal of 5.
She regains, she's breathing again.
I
She
lay
doesn't
one
regain
of the chickens
consciousness.
out in front of her and say, "Do you need this?"
She's unconscious.
Put some little bit, tear a little bit of chicken.
Can we just give her some? Why don't we give her some
Put
of
it
the rub?
into her mouth.
Why don't we give her some of the wing rub?
So what are we going for? Putting the rub or putting the chicken into the
Both.
mouth?
Combining it.
I'm freaking out now. I'm willing to do whatever. I don't want this chicken to die.
Okay.
Let's we just try the rub on its own first, and then.
But it's the whole rub and the rub together doesn't do anything.
Doesn't it?
It's the
We don't know. We don't know that.
We haven't snorted any of this rub yet.
We haven't taken it raw.
Yeah.
Sure.
So what are you going for?
Just the rub then.
A pinch of the rub.
The rub?
Just to avoid cannibalism until it's absolutely necessary.
Yeah.
You sprinkle the rub around her beak. Nothing happens.
Do we have any, like the grain that she's been eating? Put a little bit of rub on the grain and then put a little bit of grain into her mouth?
The rub burns through the grain.
Oh,
Okay,
what
guys.
if we mix it with some? What if you mix some of the rub? With
I think we've got
Guys,
to
if you don't want
make
any
her be a cannibal.
If you don't want any part of this, turn away now.
Yeah. I'm absolutely
You can-
terrified this chicken's going to die. We've got to
You
figure
can
it out.
absolve yourself from this. I'll take the hit.
I'm with you.
Let's try it.
Let's do
I've
it.
already made a pact with the devil, so I've already been first.
What's a little bit of kinship cannibalism?
So I just get the rub, put it on a little bit of her chicken wing, and then crumple it up and just feed it into her.
Okay. The chicken just falls out of her mouth again. Doesn't seem to have any effect.
Put it in a little bit further.
Okay, she stops breathing.
Pull it out again.
She's breathing, but doesn't seem to have any effect. You know, as soon as the chicken reaches your mouths with the rub on, it's almost like it's kind of sucked in. You know, it kind of immediately, fills your senses, but also absorbs itself into your bodies, and that doesn't seem to happen here.
Seems wild. I'm going to eat a bit of chicken.
Yeah.
Does it have any effect?
If you're eating a wing, you're eating a wing.
Yeah. Is it working? If I eat it, do I get any of the
wing and the rub?
Yeah.
Yes, you gain all of the benefits. You begin glowing.
So now I'm glowing. I'm in an absolute terrible panic, and I
Couple of orcs turn around,
glowing.
raising eyebrows.
I was just concerned there that with her losing her magic of her wings, we have lost the magic on the remaining wings.
Well, you have lost a wing, so now you only have 3.
Yeah. That was probably a bad decision, but it was a decision I made. So, what are we going to do? I feel like we've not made friends in here, but would any of the orcish kind of healing stuff that they tried on Cassius?
They have some simple kind of tinctures and things, but really it's really only by their skilled hands that it had any effect at all. They're not inherently magical.
It's a magical ailment, isn't it? By the looks of it. I mean,
we've got to get her out of here.
A lack of, yeah. What are our options? I mean, there's the Miss Millie's is a temple, but it seems like a temple of food. We need some sort of divine magic, surely, to be able to cure what ails. It's as if she's been drained, right?
Drained by being surrounded by poo, I guess.
Pluckers, though, seems to be deteriorating.
Yeah.
She's getting worse. To give the meaning of deteriorating.
No.
I don't know why I said that. She's deteriorating, absolutely.
Could we go back up to the temple of a Manator and try and get one of the... I mean, they're going to be busy fighting,
No, they're just going to kill her, aren't they?
Overhearing you, the old orc at the periscope-looking thing overhears you, and you just see him solemnly shaking his head.
No. We need...
Sorry, I go up to the guy looking through the periscope, and I just ask him, "What can you see? Give me the update."
He says,
"Take a look for yourself."
And you have a look into the periscope.
Just brush away one of a loose dread that's just fallen free.
Yeah.
I press my right eye into the periscope. What do I see?
And as you look into the periscope, you can actually see that it's showing you one of a dozen different scenes. It seems to be drawing from multiple sources, but in all of them, you can just see chaos. You can see fighting, you can see pillaging, and you can see fire.
Mm-hmm.
And you recognise some of the locations as places that you walked by above.
Snogog, are there any... We need a magical healer. Do you know any? Do you know where we could find somebody with those abilities?
He says, That is not something which we are able to assist you with, I am afraid.
Snuggle.
We are creatures of war.
Snuggle, we have got to get this chicken out of here and get her better. Is there any way out of the city without us being found?
He says, I fear there is no way. Well, no way that is safe.
We don't care about safe so much, we just need to get out.
Does he know anything about the petal of a Minotaur?
Yes.
Snuggle, do you know anything about the petal that was in the middle of the temple?
Yeah, what powers might it confer?
Bartimus's artifact.
Yes.
I simply know that it is valuable. To even have a petal would be, many gold.
We huddle around.
Brilliant.
Another
huddle? Yeah.
Another team.
Huddle up.
Okay. We don't want to add it to the main spice mix, so I'll guinea pig this. And I get out a little bit of the petal, just break a tiny bit off,
Okay.
put it on one of the other wings,
Yeah.
and then
You see a wing with a bit of petal on it.
I said, I've added to the spice rub, not the main rub, but like another
A side batch.
Side batch.
Okay, fine. Yep. And
and
immediately you see the spice absorb the petal. It distributes evenly,
Yeah.
and it begins to softly radiate this piercing white light. You also think you can almost hear something akin to a kind of
Chorus of angels?
almost like an angelic chorus coming from it.
Beautiful. And I say, hold on to your butts. Take a bite of this chicken.
Okay, you gain all of the other effects. In addition to that, you are just bestowed with the knowledge that the next time you hit something undead, you will do double the damage.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
That's not going to help us with the chicken,
Yeah.
but it is cool.
Yeah, and that's with a physical attack, just so you know.
Should we add the rest of the petal to the rest of the rub? Now we know it's good.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, whack it in.
Banger in there.
You
So-
get a louder angelic chorus.
So now Cassius and I are both glowing.
Right, you are both glowing.
I added it to the side batch, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we still have
Yeah,
the glowing.
we still
property.
have-
Yeah, so add the glowing to the whole thing.
Oh, right, okay.
Yep.
Hmm.
And now there are 2 wings.
Really burning through these guys.
Snugug, I assume, judging by your answer, that the unsafe way is via the poo monster.
And he says, oh, the demon. That is right. As I said, I would not recommend that. I suggest that you stay here for days, perhaps weeks.
If we went to try and defeat this demon, would any of the clucking orcs fancy coming with us on this adventure?
We have lost several down that way. It is cursed, he assures you.
But what about that coward over there? And I point to the one that challenged us, Aaron.
To Darthu Henri.
Yeah.
You're asking if he would help you.
Yeah.
You can certainly try.
I turn to him and stride over and I say, I know you and our friend haven't seen eye to eye, but we're looking for a real challenge to take on this demon and rid it from these sewers that you live in.
Darthu turns to his companion and he cracks a smile and suddenly he swats you. He tries to hit you in the face.
Sure.
Oh.
Can I try and block it?
Yeah, well, it's going to be versus your AC.
Sure.
Which is trying to block it, which is 15.
I'm going to... I rolled a crit 1.
Okay. You also...
But I'm using one of my lucky points.
Yeah.
So he gets that.
You know what you see, which is that Cassius's arms fall off. And after his arms fall off, his legs fall off. The torso classes to the ground.
Well, I used my lucky point, so it's his roll.
But you still rolled it.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, so it was still a point of luck which happened, so I'm saying it still happens. So it still counts towards his roll, so he's not going to hit you. But the roll happens.
Oh, right, okay.
So
Please happen now and not in the sewer.
it's kind of like this almost it's like stages on a rocket coming off. It's like the arms and then the legs fall off. You see the arms and the legs both mid-air explode into dust. You know, they don't turn into cooked versions of themselves. But the torso, you just see him flopping around on the floor.
It's just a flesh wound.
Cassius has been looking pretty under the weather. He's been looking like shit. Let's be honest. All of a sudden, there's a scream and we see this rolling torso.
As much as nothing is sometimes irritated by Cassius, not nice to see a grown man's arms and legs falling off and his torso falling loudly to the floor. I think she's relatively horrified. Probably not upset. Nothing really upsets her, but she is pretty horrified.
The initial horror, I suppose, at seeing Cassius fall to the ground without any limbs, Jacob would do anything at all if he could help Cassius and get rid of whatever this horrible condition is. But he just doesn't. He doesn't know. He doesn't understand. It's obviously a power beyond his means to solve.
Cassius is in constant pain. Fuck it. This is terrible. Imagine your arms and limb just falling off all the time and then you're covered in your own blood, probably pissing yourself. It is horrible, and just the pain. Fuck me. Don't want it. End it. End me now. Kill me.
You are on your back. You see the orc just kind of takes a step back, and he
Witchery, sorcery.
and he steps
Again,
back.
I think we need your help. As I'm just.
By
And you are in enormous pain, by the way.
I
And the
run.
pain increases.
Yeah, I was going to
As
say.
your arms and legs begin to regrow.
I
it
go
is-
to run and then I stay with the chicken.
It is the most intense pain you have ever felt. It lasts for around 30 or 40 seconds.
Okay.
As you see, and the rest of you can see from across the room, just the bone, tendon, sinew, knit, and with this kind of splashing, gurgling, splatting, regrow and filling your clothes again. And you are whole once more. But you have taken
Oh no.
5 points of damage.
Cool. Okay.
You really should have checked for traps.
Darfu is looking down at you, incredulous. All of the orcs, in fact. Again, the accordion music stopped. Everybody's just looking at you.
But he still missed me, right?
He missed you. He did miss you.
And the joke's on you, mate.
You look pretty silly right now.
Jeez.
Tier above.
Yeah.
That's a new one.
You say from the ground.
Lying prone.
And you feel worse.
Okay.
Okay.
So.
You hear Snuggo. Snuggo breaks the silence, Lashat from across the room, and goes,
I take that as a no that you're not going to help us then.
And Darfu spits on you, and he says, I will not deal with such dark magics.
Cool.
And he steps away.
Jacob puts a hand to Cassius's head, and I say, how do you feel, Cassius?
I'm going to go out on a
Like
limb
my
and-
arms and legs have just been regrown. Pretty bad.
Sure.
So. Nothing is almost speechless at what she's just witnessed. But is still stood next to the chicken that is still looking awful.
Yeah. And
And-
Pluckers didn't seem to be affected at all. It's the first time you've seen a feat of luck or unluck have just no effect.
No effect at all.
She just breathes shallowly, unconscious.
So I turn to Snugug and I say, you've just seen what happened. Something very, very wrong has happened in our party. We want to get out of here.
Mhm.
Talk me through what we can do. We will take those risks, but we need to get out of here.
And he kind of sighs, he fumbles for another cigarette, lights it, takes a long drag, and then he says, then you must head over there. And he points towards, it's a different set of orcs, but still
Yeah.
there are a semicircle, half a horseshoe of orcs just guarding something at the other end of the cavern.
Is this
Their
the-
weapons are drawn.
them guarding the poo monster hatch?
Well, you don't know what they're guarding, but they're guarding something. Probably is a hatch. You know, you've kind of ascertained that. You can't see it from here, though.
I think we've got to go over there and take a look.
Okay.
I can't pick up the chicken though.
Let's
Can we have a hand?
Slowly crawling after you on my
Officer baby legs.
Yeah, baby legs.
Yeah, so I just try and take a look through the semicircle of orcs. Is there anything that
You can
physically
see it. Yeah, as you approach it, you can see that it's not the end of the cavern. You think the cavern point narrows here to a tunnel moving onwards, though you can see that this rather heavy looking, it's probably iron sheet with rivets has been hastily jammed into place in the cavern. You can tell that because there are these long, deep scratch-like grooves on either side of the corridor that make it look like it was pushed in. And the orcs, they look relaxed, though they are hard-eyed, and they're just staring at this piece of iron as if the iron is about to attack them.
Okay.
They, cast you a glance as you approach, though they hold their vigil.
I turn to one and say, "What's on the other side?"
And he says, "A demon."
I turn to everyone and say, "There's this thing that I can do. It might work here." I hold my hand up and place it to the iron, and I use my divine sense to see if I can sense either a celestial, a fiend, or something undead on the other side.
What is the range on that?
60 feet.
No.
Okay.
It's rough, isn't it, when I have to ask the question?
Yeah.
But no.
Okay.
Can you see anything through there? Is it just darkness?
You could try and peer.
Yeah, I've only got like 60 feet worth of. But can you see what form the tunnel?
I'm going to try and phrase this, and as best a way I can to try and freak out a player. Do you put your eye to the hole at the edge of the sheet?
I think nothing is increasingly desperate to heal the chicken. That's her main motivation, so she's going to fucking stick her eye to that hole and take it.
Yes, you do, and you see darkness beyond.
Nothing.
You can see, you've got dark vision?
Yeah, 60 feet.
You see a long corridor, and some way down, not that far, around 30 feet away, you can see 2 statues. That's what you can see.
Can I? Do the statues give any clue as to?
You'd have to get closer. Your head is pressed against the rock. Only half of your eye can even get a measure of it, but you'd have to go through.
Okay.
This is freaky.
One of the orcs hisses as you approach the sheet. Careful.
Okay.
What are we doing, people?
Do they know anything? Do they know anything more about it other than just
it's
bad?
a demon?
Has anyone ever seen it and lived to tell the tale?
Because they forced it out of here, didn't they? So they must have seen it at some point.
One of the half-orcs says, "Live to tell the tale?" No.
Have my arms and legs fully regrown yet?
I said they did.
I turn to say, "Kids."
They back away from you, by the way.
We're all worried about Pluckers, and this is the fastest way out of this hellhole. So we might as well throw all caution to the wind and see what this demon has to offer.
Cassius is right. We need to stop acting like we've got a choice.
This seems like such a bad idea, but I agree. I think we've got to go.
But before we go, can I have a little rest just to heal up?
Yes, you can.
I'll use a little short rest.
Yes.
I'm going to sing my Song of Rest, so you get an extra 1d6 hit points.
Nice.
La 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 la. Yeah, how does that go?
I hope you're feeling better.
After your arms and legs blew off.
2 hours or so goes by, and Pluckers stops breathing again.
Oh, Pluckers!
This time it's going to be a medicine check from one of you. Though I take it, Jacob, you'll try and stabilise with your own sort of healing magics.
Yeah. 18.
Okay. That's fine with the 18. So Osgarin, you tend to Pluckers, and you kind of expertly kind of hold her. And initially, Jacob, you've never felt this before. You feel like your healing arts are being resisted in some way.
It's not working.
It does work, but you feel a kind of pressure pushing back on it. It does work this time.
Okay. So I'll heal her for another 5.
We have got to move quickly, guys.
Yeah.
Still unconscious.
How long has gone between those two unconscious, just roughly?
Oh, 2 or 3 hours.
God, okay.
Okay.
I think we've got to go.
Let's go, guys. Let's go.
Writing up some patient notes, sir.
Yeah, I am. I'm just putting my name, my grade, date and time.
So this iron grate is
Yes.
pushed into recesses in the wall.
Huge iron sheet. It's just been scraped, jammed into this corridor. It's this large sheet.
It's clearly much larger than any one person could move.
Though the orcs offer to help you after you ask them. But I mean, Lashat comes up and he sort of looks at each of you. He can see the resolve in your eyes, and he shrugs again and he says, "Mes amis, we will cross paths again. And viva le poulet grand."
Thank you, Brother Shat. You've been of invaluable help.
He grips each of you in this sort of warrior hold. Again, you get these death glares from that orc from across the room, S01E020.
Yeah.
And his eyes narrow, particularly you, Osgarin, and you think you've made a friend for life there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crikey.
Some of the orcs step forwards. They yank the iron sheet, and you can see that it's at least 7 or 8 inches thick.
Wow.
Incredible strength. As they remove it, they allow you to step through, and then they hastily bolster it back in place.
Is it completely dark in there?
It is pitch black.
Are we still glowing?
How long does it last?
10 minutes, but we've had our short rest, right?
Yeah.
I had a quick short rest.
Yeah, so it's not.
Yeah, so we're not glowing. Probably should have bought something to light this up with, shouldn't we? But we're through now, so...
I've got torches in my pack.
Thanks, party dad.
Thanks for listening. Just so you know, we're being nice and socially distant and have a healthy backlog of episodes for you over the coming weeks. If you fancy some distraction, hit us up on the Twitters or Instagram @DragonWingsPod. We're constantly enjoying the DMs and tags, so do it. See you next time.